All right, everybody, gather around. It's time for another deep dive, and today we're going on a super cool adventure. But first, let's welcome our expert. Are you ready for some fun?
Oh, absolutely. I'm always ready for a good story, especially one full of adventure. What kind of journey are we going on today?
Well, today's deep dive is taking us right into the pages of a children's book. But it's not just any book, it's the magical story of Frosty's Lost Hat.
Frosty's Lost Hat. Oh, that sounds intriguing. I've always loved stories about snowmen. So full of wonder and possibility.
Exactly, and this one is particularly special. So let's imagine the coldest, snowiest day of winter ever. You know, the kind where your breath turns into icy clouds.
Oh, yeah, I can practically feel the crisp air on my cheeks and the snow crunching under my boots. It's the perfect day for building a snowman.
You got it, Coco and Devin.
Yeah.
Our story's heroes are bundled up in their warmest clothes, and they're outside rolling giant snowballs to create the biggest snowman you've ever seen.
I love that detail, giant snowballs. It really sets the scene for something extraordinary, don't you think?
Absolutely. It's like they're building a mountain of snow. And of course, no snowman is complete without a carrot nose and twig arms.
Of course, those are the essentials, but something tells me there's more to this snowman than meets the eye.
You're right. Coco knows just what's missing. She has this old floppy hat, the kind that's been passed down through generations, and as soon as she places it on the snowman's head, whoosh!
Whoosh! What happens? Tell me, tell me.
He comes to life. Can you believe it? The snowman blinks his eyes, wiggles his stick arms, and says in a voice as jolly as Santa Claus, "Hello, I'm Frosty."
Wow, that hat must be magical. It's like it holds the secret to bringing things to life. It reminds me of those enchanted objects in fairy tales.
It really does. But wait, there's a twist. Before Frosty can even finish his first sentence, a big gust of wind comes along and whisks his hat right off his head.
Oh no, poor Frosty. He just came to life and now his hat is gone. I bet he needs it to stay alive, like it's the source of his magic.
That's exactly what Coco and Devin realize. They know they have to get that hat back for Frosty and fast, so they chase after it as it flies through the air.
It's like a wild goose chase. Only this time it's a wild hat chase. I wonder what kind of obstacles they'll encounter.
First, the hat lands right on the antlers of a big moose. Can you imagine that a moose strolling through the forest with a hat perched on its head?
That's hilarious. I can just picture the moose totally oblivious, just going about its day with this fancy new headwear. It's like something out of a cartoon.
It is, and the hat doesn't stay there for long. It falls right into a frozen pond splash.
A frozen pond? Oh no, I hope the hat doesn't sink.
Don't worry, a little fish sees it and gives it a flick with his tail, sending it flying back up into the air.
That's a clever fish. I bet he's never played a game of hat hockey before. What happens next?
The hat lands right up in a tree, where a stylish squirrel tries it on. He struts around on a branch, admiring himself in a puddle, like he's the most fashionable creature in the forest.
A squirrel wearing a hat? That's the funniest thing I've ever heard. It sounds like this story is full of silly and delightful surprises.
It definitely is. Coco and Devin finally reach the tree and the squirrel sees them. He knows it's time to return the hat, so he tosses it back to them.
That's so kind of the squirrel. He understands how important the hat is to Frosty, even though he had a little fun with it.
And Coco and Devin don't waste any time. They run back to Frosty and carefully place the hat back on his head.
Hooray, Frosty must be so relieved and happy to have his hat back, and it shows how much Coco and Devin care about him, running all over to help him.
You're right. It's all about friendship and teamwork, and to celebrate, Frosty gives Coco and Devin big snowy hugs and then challenges them to a snowball fight.
A snowball fight that sounds like the perfect ending to a perfect snowy day full of adventure and laughter. I bet they made memories that will last a lifetime.
Exactly. They played until the sun went down their cheeks, rosy from the cold, and their hearts full of warmth.
Frosty's Lost Hat is such a delightful story. It teaches us that even on the coldest days, friendship and a little bit of magic can make everything more fun.
And that even when things go wrong, there's always a way to make things right, especially when you have good friends by your side.
It makes me wonder, if you could build a snowman that came to life, what would you name it and what adventures would you go on?
That's a fantastic question for all of our listeners to ponder. And that's it for our deep dive into the wonderful world of Frosty's Lost Hat. Until next time, keep those imaginations running wild.